We took this client from 0 to 200 followers per day growth on Instagram in just 2 days. And it literally comes down to just 2 key levers which you need to pull. Here's how you do it. Now, the first thing that you have to fix, that we always do with our clients, is we help them convert more of their profile visitors into profile followers. This is really important because by simply bumping your conversion rate of visitors to followers, you can instantly increase your growth overnight, because chances are there are always people every single day, every single hour, maybe even every single minute who are checking out your profile, but they're deciding not to follow because you haven't optimized it. So by simply making a small switch here, you can increase your growth right away. To do this, you need to understand who you are trying to reach on the platform, as well as how you can actually help these people. Like, what is the benefit of this person following you? What are they going to get out of it? And this can help you craft your branding, your bio, and your content to speak to these people and to showcase why someone should follow you, which is going to massively increase the amount of people who actually do. And this way, when you start applying the right growth strategies to get in front of even more people with your content and with your account, it's going to convert at a much higher percentage. So not only are you reaching more people, but a higher percentage of those people are actually following you, which means it's very easy to 4, 5, 6, maybe even 10x your growth on Instagram. Because if you're currently getting 100 profile visits per day and 5% of them are turning into followers, you're growing at 5 followers per day. If you make a few small tweaks to your account and you start converting 20% of visitors into followers, and then you make a few small tweaks to your strategy and you start reaching 500 profile visitors per day, then all of a sudden you're growing at 100 followers every single day instead of 5. So you've increased it by 20 times. Most people massively overlook this part of the process, but it is so important and one of the most important things that we do with our clients. Marketers and online business owners will spend hours and hours and hours, weeks and weeks and weeks, thousands and thousands of dollars of split testing their landing page or their e-commerce website to try and bump the conversion rate of 3% to 3.2% or increase their email opt-in rate from 40% to 42%. But they won't spend 5 minutes to 5 times the amount of people who follow them on social media who then trickle into those funnels. So it's really important. Now, if you want to figure out your conversion rate of how many people are actually following you, it's a statistic that you can see inside of your Flick dashboard if you use Flick Analytics, which is a tool that I use. Or if you don't have Flick and you just want to do this manually, what you want to do is go into your analytics. You want to then look at how many people have followed you over the past 7 days, write down that number. Then you want to go to your profile visitors for the last 7 days and write down that number. Then you want to take your followers, divide it by the amount of people who have visited your profile, which will give you 0 point something, and then you times this number by 100, which might give you 7 or 14 or something along those lines, and that will be your follower conversion rate as a percentage. If it's anything under 10%, you really want to drop everything and make this your focus on boosting this number. If it's above 30, you're well above average and you're doing very, very well. Don't worry about it at all. If you're anywhere between 10 and sort of 20%, you probably still want to give this some work. It's probably not your main focus, but it still could do better. And if you're in that sort of 20 to 30% range, you're doing a pretty solid job, so I wouldn't really worry about it too much. You're better off to spend your time on the second point, which is increasing the amount of people that you get to your profile, which leads us on to part 2. Now, generating more profile visitors. Now, this can happen in a multitude of ways and changes massively over time as new strategies come and they go. Way back in my day, as cringe as that sounds to say, as a 22-year-old, but anyway, you could do things like follow unfollow. You could follow hundreds of people a day, and that would generate a lot of awareness back to your account because very few people were doing it. There wasn't an algorithm in place and there weren't any spam filters. So you could do this. And there was also very little competition, like not many others were doing it, and it would be highly effective. Nowadays, you don't want to do that because A, so many people are doing it to the point where it's just seen as spammy and it's not that exciting when someone gets a new follow. B, there's an algorithm that can punish you, and C, there are spam filters, so if you do that too often, you'll get your account banned. So instead, I've listed 4 techniques that you can use to drive traffic to your account to then convert into followers that are effective, and then at the end of the video, I'll explain what we did for this specific client that worked really well. Now, the first one is Reels. Post Reels often. You've probably heard this advice a lot on my channel, on other people's channels, and that's because it is probably the easiest way to get a lot of attention to your profile. The way that the algorithm works with Reels and the discoverability of them means that it is very simple to reach new people using Reels. All you have to do is create something somewhat engaging, and usually Instagram will push some of your content, some of your Reels out to more people. With regular images, it's much harder, but still possible if you strike it right. But usually with regular images or carousels, you're gonna need at least 2, 3, 4, maybe even 5,000 relatively targeted, relatively engaged followers before Instagram will even give you a chance pushing this content out there. Whereas with Reels, you can usually do it from day one. Now, the second one is TikTok. So you want to take these same Reels that you're posting on Instagram and post them on TikTok and potentially even YouTube Shorts as well. TikTok somewhat has the opposite effect of Instagram, which means they work really well together. On TikTok, you've got an incredible ability to reach new people who don't follow you. However, you've got a terrible ability to reach existing followers and build and nurture those relationships. Instagram, however, is somewhat the other way around. It's relatively easy to reach people who already follow you, especially with your stories and so on. But it's harder, not impossible, still very doable, to reach new people who don't follow you. So you want to use TikTok to reach new people who don't know who you are, bring them back to your Instagram where they can then see you every single day with your stories, your content, etc. Because on TikTok, you could be posting a daily TikTok for 3 months and maybe only three of those 100 blow up. But that's all you need, because that could drive hundreds, if not thousands of people back to your Instagram and potentially dozens of customers inside of that. The third strategy that will always work is known as the $80 strategy, the comment strategy, the Gary V strategy. It's got a lot of names, but it's pretty simple. All you want to do here is find out where your target audience is hanging out. What accounts do they already follow that you can then identify? Then what you're gonna do is go and comment on their posts so you can get in front of their followers. Make your comment interesting so it spikes the attention of the people who follow this account and it brings them back to your page where you've already optimized it to convert people into followers. Now they're going to turn into a follower, especially if you've got a feed filled with great content. And then the fourth strategy that I wanted to cover is influencer marketing. So what you're going to do here is you're going to find those accounts that you'll use for the $80 that have your target audience that have already built up an account and built rapport with this audience. And instead of commenting on their posts and investing your time, or alongside doing that, you can pay these accounts to post some of your best content, endorse your account, and send their followers to your page. It's almost like a way of, instead of investing time, you're investing money. It's like the flip side of the coin. All you have to do is send them a DM and just ask them how much it would cost for them to repost one of your carousels, one of your reels, one of your images to their account. This will drive people back to your profile who then turn into followers. Some of them will turn into leads, and hopefully a few of them will become customers. Now, in general, any other strategy that authentically drives targeted people to your profile will work. There might be new strategies that come and go in the future, but you just want to think, does this drive targeted people authentically to my profile where they can then choose if they want to follow based on the content and the optimization of the account. This could include running paid ads, boosting your posts. It could include leveraging other platforms like we talked about with TikTok. You could do this on Pinterest, YouTube Shorts, etc. It could come from collaborations, whether it be collaborations with other creators on the platform or other creators off the platform, or even the likes of media outlets, or even something that we advised this client specifically to work on, which was liking a lot of other people's stories to then drive attention back to their page. If you needed help implementing this stuff to grow your audience and generate more customers, then feel free to book a discovery call with me down below. We'll see if we can help you get results, build your account, generate more leads, and grow your business. Now, the strategies that you want to avoid are the ones that do not authentically drive targeted people to your profile. This includes giveaways. A lot of people will run giveaways as a way to gain followers. What will happen is there'll be a company that pays a celebrity, a rapper, an athlete, a TikTok star, something like that, to give away like $10,000. And for people to enter, all they have to do is follow like 100 different Instagram accounts. The reason this is bad is because it's not authentic. These people are not looking at your content and making an informed judgment based on what your account's about, what your bio is, what your username is, all of these different things. They're not making a decision based on that to then follow you. They're not even looking at your account. They're just following a list of 100 accounts. So they're not targeted, they're not engaged, they're not interested in what you have to post, and they will never see your content. It'll ruin your account. You also want to avoid fake followers, obviously, because it doesn't fit this category. And any other strategy that inauthentically gets people to follow you without going to your account and having the freedom to choose whether they want to or not based on your content. Now, these strategies that I've outlined with you, aside from Reels, I guess, work completely irrelevant of the algorithm. The algorithm could be your worst nightmare and influencer marketing will still work. $1.80 will still work. Using outside platforms will still work. Liking people's stories will still work. Engaging with people will still work. Sending cold DMs, all of these things will still work. Then if Instagram decides to bless you and push your content out, that's a nice additional bonus. Hope this helps. Drop any questions below that you may have. Subscribe if you're new. And I've started posting daily content on Instagram as well under my Cleverpreneur brand account. So go follow that. I've got a personal account at Josh Ryan, but I'm a little bit less active there. Just be careful of the scammers out there pretending to be me to sell you crypto scams.